I'm here with Anise Records and CEO recording artist Beth. Beth is here to talk about her newest single, Got Next, featuring Swifty McBay from D12. Beth is known as a vocalist who's traveled the world abroad, singing with Anita Baker, KEM and Najee. And now she's coming out with her own record this year.
I put a spell on you. So I really, I loved it. And I got in the choirs and at school. And then after I graduated from high school, I went to college, but I started like gigging in the clubs, and with the live band. And I started getting that full feel of what it's like to perform. And I just kind of grew from that. And I like this thing. This is what I want to do. Yeah.
So then what did you discover? I'm sorry.
I said my parents weren't excited about that.
I'm surprised. I mean, your dad was the original member of the Funk Brothers. So like, what was his first thought that came out of his mouth?
Go get your degree and go sit down somewhere. Seriously, because the business, and I get it now, the business and the mess that comes with it, like the average person sees the lights and the camera and the wardrobe, which happens to be my favorite. Right. They see all that, right? And they think it's cool, but it's the ugly stuff that's there. And it's ugly stuff with everything. So he didn't want me to have to experience that. So he was like, just go to school. You're a smart girl. Get your degree, get a job, go into corporate America. And I did that. I attempted to do that, but the music kept calling,
So when did you discover your booming voice? Like the voice that was like, okay, I'm matured. I know my thing. I'm going to get out here and sing in front of this crowd.
Can I tell you something really truthfully?
Yes.
I'm still discovering it.
What? Oh my God. I've listened to your music. What do you mean?
What we hear as artists and what you hear as a listener are not always the same thing.
Wow.
And I know that I can sing, so I know that, but I still push and challenge myself, and I still don't feel like I've hit where I'm really like, oh yeah, this is me, this is my sound. I'm still discovering that because I started out as a background singer. So as a background singer, you're there to support the artist that you work for. I really didn't do a lot of solo stuff. Then I just put my first album out in 2017. So I've been living with that and performing that. So now I would say, because I have another album coming out, now I'm starting to really learn me and what I do, because I was very heavily influenced with the artists that I worked with and worked with. And then I did a cover band for many years. So I was covering different artists. So I think singers, a lot of times, we got to pull back and figure out what is us? What do we do? So that's why I said I'm still discovering what it is. I know I can sing, but what is Beth's sound? And that's what I love to record original music, because then I'm able to really get to know me.
I love your transparency, because I would have known, like, you belong on Broadway, like,
thank you.
Vegas residency. I mean,
thank you. Call some who you know. Call some. Move where it's warm.
Yes, like your vocals are phenomenal, and you've done a lot with your vocals. So, can you tell our viewers some of the things that you've been afforded? Like, as you approach your craft as a newbie. Like, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, you're forever learning and forever still trying to improve that craft. And I appreciate that, because that's a message for myself. Okay, girl?
Okay, thank you. I do that because I know that there are levels that in life that we have to grow on levels. And every level that you get to, it's a new playing field when you get to that level. So that's why I look at myself like that. When you learn everything that you're supposed to learn at that one place, you still are a newbie, because you get ready to go to a new level and you got to learn. So you can never be like, oh, I got this, because you have some things, but you never will have it all.
Right.
I think when you have it all, that's when you close your eyes for the last time, because you've done everything you can do. There's nothing else to do.
Right. When God empties you. That's right.
There it is.
So tell our viewers some of those opportunities that you've been afforded to do.
Some of my favorite, I think my favorite was to put my own album out.
Yes.
You know, there's so many incredible artists that have never sold into themselves and create a body of work and left their own legacy. And I've been determined to leave my own legacy. So I would say, first of all, putting out my own project. Some of the other things that are incredible, I was able to sing on Dancing with the Stars, do season 22, Icon Night. I was able to sing a Whitney Houston song and an Aretha Franklin song. I was under the direction of the incredible Ray Chu, who I love and respect. And that was great. Season 16 of The Voice with Kelly Clarkson and John Legend as my coach. That was incredible. My first background job for 5 years with Anita Baker, 8-time Grammy award-winning songstress. That was my first touring job that I had. I've been with KEM for about 9 years now. I recently toured with Najee, the latter part of 2021. He's an incredible artist and an incredible person, very generous person. I enjoy working with him. I look forward to working with him again. And just learning myself. I think that's the most important thing, because as I'm doing different things, I'm learning different things about myself. And every time I learn something about myself that either I like or don't like, that allows me to go to the next place.
I love it. And when you sang with John Legend and Kelly Clarkson, they were actually your mentors. So yes. What was the number one things that each of them, because I know they taught you something separately, that taught you that you still utilize till this day?
Oh, Kelly really spoke to me in terms of being free and knowing that if you think you don't have it, you got it. Just distrust your instincts. Those are one of the things that she said. And she said to just pull from your instincts. And I really appreciate that. I take that with me now. With John Legend was more so telling me he wanted me to dig deeper and to just give more grit, give more emotion, give more soul. And I use that too, and I love it. I mean, the two of them, what they gave me and the knowledge kind of married to each other. And I use that sometimes when I get ready to sing, you know, I'm like, okay, how am I going to approach this song? How am I going to do this? And I go, oh yeah, I mean, let me just sing it. Let me just let go. And so I still hear them, you know, telling me that. And I cherish that. I appreciate that.
Do you think that's one of the greatest benefits to you as a songstress who started out the way that you did?
I think any singer, any artistic person, any artist, dancer, painter, musician, we all need to remain coachable.
That's right.
No matter how talented you are. And if there's somebody that is on a level that you aspire to be on, listen to them.
Right.
They're there, you know. I've often had situations where I've heard people say, well, how they gonna tell me I sing better than them, or I dance better than them, or I do this better than them? That may be true, right, but you're not where they are.
That's right. That's right.
So there's a way that they got there, and there's a reason they're there and you not. So listen to what they talk about. So remain coachable, so they can give you a little nugget that'll change your life. That's
right. Listen, you preaching the word. I'm like, okay, when do I sign up for your Bible study? Okay, girl. Let's talk about that.
Oh, you know what? It ain't like, but life is a Bible study for real. I mean, this is just me just doing stuff, and I'm like, that didn't work. I ain't gonna do that again. But this one, I'll do that. So it's just, yeah.
So I just love that you take constructive criticism and use it to your advantage. Like you like, nah, I'm gonna use that to get to where I need to go.
Absolutely.
So did that stretch you? Do you think you were stretched?
Do I think? Absolutely, I was stretched, and it was painful, but rewarding, because there was a lot of things going on in my personal life when I was doing The Voice. So it was me learning to balance. You know, my mother had a very bad stroke, and I had to leave her at home to go do the TV show. And then not only that, my husband had had surgery. So I'm literally on television singing and receiving criticism or critique. And I got the two most important people in my life are sick. So you have to look at that as, you know, dang, this is the wrong time for me to be on the show, or wow, I got to learn how to balance because this is real life.
That's right. And
if you want to do this, you can't always let your emotions or your pain show, you know, to the world or to the camera. So I was definitely stretched and I loved it. And that was just my personal stretch. Musically, yes, because I got to work with an EGOT winner, first of all, which is like, how many people get to meet an EGOT winner, right?
Very rare.
And then Kelly Clarkson won American Idol, which is another show, but it was the same type of show. So I was really excited about just being in the same room with them and feeling their energy.
Right.
Because you can get blessed from somebody just being in the same room with them and they're sharing the same energy with them.
Right.
So
as long as it's good energy, we rebuke anything else less.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want that other stuff.
No. Keep that. Okay. Yeah. So what was the experience like? Because you worked on Sparkle with a mesmerizing Whitney Houston. Did she share words of encouragement with you that stood out to you that you still use?
She did not, but I got a hug from her. And when I tell you that was everything, she is my favorite singer of all time. And she and I both have the same birthday, which is August the 9th. So when we were able to, I don't know if you know anything about a movie set, and you go to craft services and you get food. Yes. And so I went in craft services and she was coming through and I was like, oh my God, here comes Whitney Houston. And I was just like, okay, this is like now or never. Either I'm going to talk to her or I'm not. And you're sitting there looking like Gabrielle Union. I'm just going to give you a side. I'm looking at you and I'm like, you are super cute.
Thank you.
Okay, back to my story. I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks like Gabrielle Union. So I'm in there and she walks in and I'm like, oh my God, I got to say something to her. So I was like, Miss Houston, I just want to introduce myself to you. I'm your stand-in and your body double. And she said, oh, child, I know, you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, I even exist, you know what I'm saying? So, and I said, I just wanted to take a moment and tell you that we have the same birthday. And she said, what? And I said, August. And she was like, you lying. And I was like, no. And so she grabbed me and she hugged me. She was like, oh, you my Leo sister and all this kind of, and I'm just standing there going, oh my God, Whitney Houston is touching me. Like I was freaking out. And that moment was priceless to me. I'll never forget it. And then when we wrapped her portion of filming, everybody was running up to her trying to take pictures and all this kind of stuff with her. And I tapped her security person on the arm and I said, I know she's getting ready to leave. Could I please have a picture? And he said, absolutely. He was like, you was her person in the movie. That's what he couldn't remember the name. Come on over here. And I stopped and took a picture with her. And when I tell you, that was just everything to me. That's my favorite picture ever. Like I cherish that picture. So no words. It was just the time and the acknowledgement from her. That's it. I'm good.
And it inspired you.
Yo, my husband told me I wasn't even the same person after that movie. Like that ignited a fire in me because I think everybody has their favorite person. And I never thought I was going to meet Whitney Houston. I never thought it was going to happen. Like when I tell you never, it was just going to be this person larger than life that I admire from afar. And the fact that she was here and the filming of the movie took place literally in my city, walking distance from my house. I said, God dropped her right there. And I said, this is not, I said, okay, this is crazy. She's come in this situation and our paths have crossed for a reason. And just to be in her space, like I said, it ignited. My husband was like, ever since you met her, he was like, you just been thinking you all that. And I'm like, I do, because I never thought, like God blew my mind with that one. Seriously. Yeah.
Well, divine intervention, like it was your timing. So
yes,
that fire for whatever the reason. And here we are.
And it's still burning.
And it's still burning.
It's not.
Listen, you've gone on to write a children's book. You've done so much. So can you tell our viewers about that? Speaking of lighting a fire, like you've tapped into other layers of yourself.
Yes, I'm very proud of the book. It's called I Am Beautiful Inside and Out. And it's basically my story. It's a traditional story. When, caterpillar turned into the butterfly, the ugly duckling turned into the beautiful swan, or, whatever they turned into that was cute afterwards. That was how I felt as a kid. I was always the tallest, the skinniest, big eyes, big teeth. You know how they say you got to grow into yourself. Mm-hmm. I was teased, and I was very insecure and very unhappy with my outer appearance, and just didn't know that I was going through the growing pains. Mm-hmm. And this book is just to encourage kids to believe in themselves, to love themselves, and to not be bullied and not to accept it. If somebody's mistreating you, tell a grown-up. That's right. I didn't know to do that. I would just go home and cry or hide or stand in the corner or wouldn't participate in activities at school. I didn't know to say something to somebody. And I just hate that you see in the news things are happening to children and they're committing suicide and they're hurting themselves, or other things are happening that are detrimental or that kids don't come back from. And so this is a very simple read, an easy read. It's a very colorful book. The illustrations are beautiful. It's just to encourage children to love themselves and that they are beautiful on the inside before they necessarily become beautiful on the outside.
That's right. I'm glad you wrote that. That right there, growing into yourself, like I had the biggest calves ever in high school and they called me Tawanda Schwartz of calves. Finally,
so cool.
I have legs to die for. So now everybody's like, oh, you have the best legs ever. You must work out a lot. And I'm like, no, I've had them all my life. I just kind of, I'm an adult.
You had to grow your legs.
That's right.
That's the same thing. They called me olive oil. And like now I'm so glad that I'm this size because I can wear whatever I want to wear.
That's right.
And so it's one of those things. But you don't know that as a kid, you know? You think the world is over. You walking around with those legs, but the grown-ups are like, oh, she gonna be fine when she get older. But you didn't know. And I'm walking around and my dad used to say, when you get older, you're going to be so glad you're thin. And I'm like, I was drinking milkshakes, eating potatoes, doing the most, trying to get bigger because I thought that's what it was. And I didn't know to just let my body grow and that I would be beautiful one day. So, yeah.
I love it. So where can viewers buy that book or follow you so they can get that book?
If you go to my website, which is bethalwayssings.com, and that's BETHALWAYSSINGS. When you go to my website, it's the first thing that'll pop up for you. So you can get it exclusively on my website because I only have it. I didn't send it anywhere else to be distributed. You can go there. My Instagram and my Twitter is also Beth Always Sings.
Okay, Beth said, listen, I'm gonna cut out the middleman. I got this, all right? And then hopefully we can get that in the public library because it is a need, especially with COVID and kids being indoors and just when they finally get out, they don't know what to do with themselves. So, this
Can you imagine what a kid feels like? Grown-ups don't know what to do with themselves when they get out.
That's right.
So the kids don't know.
Listen, I was like, I'm just going to put up some lights just randomly. I'm just going to put up some lights. So
we need some lights in here, So. Yeah.
So now let's get into your music. You have, like you said, you put out your first album. Kudos to you. Congratulations. Thanks. Amazing accomplishment. And you have a new single coming out. So can we talk about that?
Yes. So my new single, I'm so excited. It's called Let Me Be. March 22nd, it will be available. And my album will be out in June. So I'm really excited about that because I have a new producer on my album. And then I have two producers that I used on my first album that just did incredible. So I had to use them and work with them again. Mm-hmm. So the Let Me Be is a fun song. It's got kind of like an old school mixed with new school feel. And I can't wait till everybody hears it. I'm excited about it.
We're excited, okay? So now I have two more questions. You worked with Anita Baker. Like that was my sister passed away in 2013.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Everybody always says she looks so much like Anita Baker. So that
and you looking like Gabrielle Union. I don't know what y'all doing over there.
Oh, listen.
Has anybody told you look like her?
I get Gabrielle Union, Taraji P. Henson. I just get a mashup.
So I'm not open.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not tripping. Yeah, especially when you smile, that's the Gabrielle smile.
Oh, the dimples.
Yeah, but it's all down here. But I said, wait, all right, I can make you like Gabrielle. Yeah,
maybe I can be her double. Okay, girl. So, what was it like working with her? That had to be amazing.
It was, first of all, it was my first major tour, my first major work with an artist. And I was green. I didn't know. I was just happy to sing and happy to be there. I learned so much because I was able to see a strong Black woman handle her own business and to do her show and be a strong artist, command the stage, control the audience, control the band, like all of those things that a strong artist is supposed to do. I learned a lot. She often would joke and say, you're going to be a solo artist one day. And I was like, no, Anita, I'm going to be singing with you. Like, I just want to do this. She was like, no, you're going to be a solo artist. And she actually gave me the name Beth Always Sings.
Wow.
So it kind of stuck. And I'm like, okay, yeah. She's like, you always singing. And I just think you're going to always sing. She is so strong and she's so knowledgeable. And I enjoyed watching her and I enjoyed learning from her. And that is one of the people that's really shaped me as an artist now.
Wow.
The way I am, because I was able to watch her and I saw some situations that really just taught me a lot, just watching her handle things. And I respect her and appreciate that time I spent with her.
I love it. So my final question, now that, Dad didn't want you to do this profession and look at you now. So what is his thoughts about how you move now that you're a powerhouse vocalist?
He's deceased.
I'm sorry.
So no, it's okay. So he died in 2000.
Wow.
2002. He didn't get a chance to see it. But what he did get a chance to see was me starting to perform with live bands.
Right.
So he did see that.
Aww.
And so he left here knowing I was singing.
That's right.
In fact, the day that he died, the night before, I had just finished gigging somewhere. And I was talking to him on the telephone and he knew I was actively doing this and pursuing it. Had not gotten into recording because, mind you, my album didn't come out to 2017. He died in 2002. So I wasn't even thinking, I hadn't gotten with Anita or anything. I didn't start working with Anita till 2007.
Right.
So it was long gone. But I feel his presence and I feel his energy. And the other thing that's really interesting is most of the time I'm out on the road. And if somebody finds out that I'm his daughter, because my father was a funk brother with Motown, so he's influenced lots of musicians.
Yes.
Yeah. So when there's normally somebody saying, okay, tell me about the band, who are the singers? And somebody said, oh, that's Johnny Griffith's daughter. And they're like, from the Funk Brothers. And then somebody come over to me with the story about my dad. And I'm like, you're following. He's around. His energy is ever present with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Your confirmation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is the real last question. Since I
that's all you got one more question?
One more question. So
you probably got two more. You just didn't thought of them.
Listen, I have to make up for my faux pas, okay?
It wasn't just you.
So how do you dig into yourself to pull out that Black girl magic?
Get a good outfit on.
Good girl, okay?
When your wardrobe is right, that's everything. When your hair, you got your lashes on and your wardrobe is right, that makes me feel so good. Mm-hmm. I think everybody has experienced when you throw on something,
right,
and you ain't got no business with that on. You run to the grocery store, you run into everybody you know.
That
and
part.
Oh my God. Okay. But when you feel cute, it's empowering. And I think that combined with me taking a little time to be still and reflect on why I'm getting ready to sing, what I'm getting ready to sing, and what is the energy and the message that I want to give in the songs that I sing. So that's, getting yourself centered and prepared. And then you throw on that bad outfit.
That part. You see me with this. Listen, this is a headband.
It is super cute.
Thank you. Everybody's like, you're wearing a crown. Yes, I am. Well, yes, I am. Okay.
Yes.
But you know, the small things, when you look good, you feel good. So that definitely makes you feel superior. So it
Yes.
is.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the things that I experienced when I was in school. I'll never forget my mother, we were having a little pizza party at school this was 100 years ago, back in the day. And it was about the holiday time. You know, you're in school and teachers, like the end of the Christmas break or the beginning of Christmas, and you have the little pizza party, or somebody's mom brings in cupcakes or something like that, right?
Right.
And we were gonna watch a movie in class, and I remember that day, that morning, my mom put me on something I didn't want to wear.
What?
And I said, Mom, I don't want to wear this. This is not in style. And my mama said, it's still good. You gonna wear this. Mom, don't make me wear this. And she made me wear it. And as soon as I walked in the classroom, the kids teased me.
Oh.
And I didn't participate in the party because I was teased. I just sat down the whole day, and I was so ashamed and so embarrassed. So one of the things I said I was gonna never do is not have a good outfit to pull from. So that really made me, and then to make a kid wear what they don't want to wear, because they know, you know, but that's a whole nother story. But I always love a good outfit. I love a good something to make you feel empowered and feel strong and feel classy and feel sexy if need be. So those outfits are very important. So
okay. And then my seriously last question.
Come on, Gabrielle.
How did you jump into your creative space during the pandemic?
Oh, well, we had already started working on album number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So initially, you know, the top of the year, I was out on the road. I was touring. We had some shows. I think everything stopped. I think my last show was February of 2020. But in between me coming home, I was in the studio. So I think initially when everything went in lockdown and we were starting to shut down, we shut down because nobody knew what was going on.
Right.
And after we saw that, okay, we can safely work, we got the studio disinfected and all that kind of stuff. And then we decided to go back to work, and we worked through the pandemic.
Wow. Okay. Somebody's
like, there was nothing else to do.
Somebody said, I'm not missing no coins.
I mean, because here's the thing, when you look back now, here we are in 2022.
That's right.
2 years ago. Mm-hmm. What if I would have not done anything for 2 years?
That's right.
How much time I would have lost. So we safely worked. Mm-hmm. And that, you know.
And now you got another album coming out. Look at
that.
I
do. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself.
Yes, I'm proud of you too. So now I'm done.
Last question.
Yes, your social media handles one more time, and then you have concerts coming up. So tell people where they can catch you so they can buy tickets or something. Okay. I
would love that. Again, my Instagram and my Twitter is at Beth Always Sings. That's BETHALWAYSSINGS. So Beth Always Sings. That's my Instagram, Twitter, and that's my website, BethAlwaysSings.com. And my next show coming up is February the 12th. That's a Saturday night at Andiamo Showroom. That's in Warren, Michigan. And I will be opening for the legendary Peebo Bryson.
Okay. Can we stop the rain?
I love him. He's so incredible because I've done shows being on background with KEM, and Peebo Bryson was on the show as well. Oh. And I've gone to see him perform. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on the same ticket with him. And he's such a nice guy, such an incredible artist that I've listened to for many years. So I'm honored.
Listen, you are a prime example of manifestations where you envision this life, you envision meeting these people, you aspired to meet these people, and then as long as you kept doing the work, God kept moving you forward. So thank you for showing me that, because anytime anytime that I feel certain doubt, I'm going to think about you, how you walked from beginning until now, and you're still striving. So thank you so much for being.
Thank you for saying thank you. Because, sometimes people, you'll tell your story and people are like, okay, but I want people to get something from that.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long walk and I haven't stopped, because I tell people, they go, what makes you go? And I go, I literally feel a hand in my back pushing me forward. Mm-hmm. And I just go. And when it's not time to go, I won't feel it. And when it's time to go, I feel it. And I just move. It's a natural thing. And I believe if you're following your dreams and your goals and you're doing it right, you will feel that push to move forward.
That's right. It's not overnight success.
Oh, no.
Time, effort, and if you're lucky, 20 years. And you've built longevity. So that's the lesson I get from you. Like, if you keep going, you're going to walk right into exactly where you need to be. So
absolutely. and it's literally that, because I started as a background singer professionally on the road in 2007. Mm-hmm. And it's 2022. So in the midst of all that space, I've been growing and developing. And sometimes you're like, when is it going to happen? Or when am I going to do this? And then when you look back, you're like, oh, I wasn't even ready.
That's right.
So you just have to trust the process.
That's right. Trust God.
Trust God. Yes.
That's right. So thank you.